cool. What's good, Ruben? What's good, Jarvis? What's good, people? Big K, what's happening? What's happening, people? Again, let me know how your day is going. Don't just show up and be a sitting duck because I know you're watching, right? Again, this one is going to be geared specifically towards the people that are struggling with, losing weight, their first 10 pounds, their first 5 pounds. Like you want to get into momentum, but you just don't know how. All right. So this one's going to be the one for you. Just sip some water again. Okay. Since you guys want to be sitting ducks, I'm not going to waste time and wait. That's cool. If you're listening to this on the replay, that's cool. You know what I mean? All right, let's dive into this real quick, okay? And if you're new to this, if you haven't actually watched me go live before or record the podcast session, the way it works is I'll talk to you guys for a little bit before I start recording, and then once I start recording, I'm gonna, not respond to any questions or comments until after the recording, and then once the recording is done on that side, then we can have some back and forth for like 5 minutes if you've got any questions outside of what I've provided when it comes to the podcast and the information that I'll be giving you guys and girls today. All right, so with that said, with that out the way, we'll be diving into this podcast in 5, 4, 3, 2 and 1. Yo, what's good, meatheads? Hope you're having an amazing day and welcome to another episode of the Meathead on the Mic podcast. It's your host, IFBB Pro Matt Butale, coming at you with another topic. And today we will be talking about the easiest 10 pounds you'll ever lose. But before we dive in, I want to let you know that you're welcome to join the Meathead Monsters Club. It's a Facebook community where you get the opportunity to meet other meatheads like yourself online. All right. Also, don't forget to screenshot and share this podcast onto your IG stories to show support. It would really do a lot for me. All right. Also, if you've got any questions you'd like to ask me or you'd like to tune into the live stream to see exclusive behind the scenes footage, search for Matt Butale on Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn, and YouTube, as well as Instagram and Facebook. All right. Subscribe to my YouTube if you also want to see some extra meathead content. But that's out the way. Let's get the ball rolling. Let's dive into the meat and potatoes for today's conversation, which is the easiest, the fastest, the quickest 10 pounds that you'll ever lose. And guys and girls, this one is geared towards those people that are struggling to get their feet off the ground. This episode today is geared towards the people that really have difficulty seeing progress in their fitness journey, people that don't really know what to do or don't have the people to ask to learn what to do. Okay, so that's mainly the purpose of this podcast. It's for me to tell you guys, some of the secrets that I use for myself as an IFBB pro, and the secrets I use with my best clients. Okay, so tune in if you struggle with burning fat. Okay, if that's the one, if you struggle with burning fat, this is the episode that you might need to repeat. Okay, so you're in luck. All right, because today I'll be telling you the fastest way to lose your first 10 pounds of body fat. All right. So the first thing that we're going to really be talking about today, it's going to be short and sweet. I'm going to basically get the mental frames for the first 3 points. I'm going to give you guys and girls the mental frame that you'll need, the mental framework that you'll need in order to succeed. And then at the end, I'm going to actually give you the tools that I use with myself and with my best clients to track food, to monitor progress so that we know if it's working or if it's not working. And then we can go to refer to these 3 things I'm going to be talking about right now in order to tweak things so that we can get the results that we desire. Does that make sense? All right, so let's get into it. The first thing, guys and girls, start extremely small. 10 pounds is already a small number, right? But the chances are you don't only want to lose 10 pounds. You want to lose your first 10 pounds. And probably in total, you want to lose 30 to 50. I don't know. And I don't care. But I do want to help you. All right. So the first 10 pounds is typically the easiest because it's your body getting used to a new normal. But once it gets used to that new normal, you're going to have to be really consistent and analyze the changes in your body in order to continue making progress when it comes to burning fat. Okay? So yes, I get it. You want to change your entire body, and in order to do that, you must change your lifestyle, and you understand that. It's probably why you're listening to this podcast. Okay? But what you don't understand is juggling too many balls at once will only slow you down, right? And when you think of it, when you drop one ball, if you're juggling, it makes you like it's not juggling anymore, right? You have 2 balls, now you drop another ball, now you just got 1 ball in your hand. Okay? That's not juggling. And it could make you feel like a failure. It could make you feel like it's too difficult for you. It could make you feel like your body isn't designed to drop fat, to burn fat, which is, it couldn't be further from the truth. Every human being has the ability to do that. Okay. So, what do I mean by, start extremely small or keep it extremely simple? What I mean is pick one activity that you know you can commit to at least 3 to 5 days a week. Okay. Pick one activity that you know you can commit to at least 3 to 5 days a week. And when I say activity, I mean physical activity. Okay. Walking the dog for 15 minutes instead of 10, doing 5,000 steps a day, 3 to 5 days a week, or a 10-minute cardio workout from whatever YouTube workout you can find. Assuming you don't know how to train, assuming you don't go to the gym already, assuming this is your actual very first time taking responsibility for your health, going into a gym and doing something for your body. I would recommend that you start off extremely small and then, of course, stack on as it gets more easy for you and as your schedule permits. Okay. And that's for physical activity. No, I'm not going to tell you to go into the gym and just start doing everything that you don't know how to fucking do and then potentially injure yourself. No, I want you to start off literally at home, get your heart worked up on a 3 to 5 daily basis, 3 to 5 times a week. Do that. And trust me, the weight's going to start peeling off slowly. But that's not going to do all of the work. It's going to just catapult you in the direction to get some of the fat off. Okay. And in contrast to what I just said about starting it extremely small, I want you to keep in mind, guys and girls, that you should not make any massive changes. And this one doesn't necessarily pertain to physical activity because you know what you're capable of. Like, if you do, say, for example, a 30-minute walk and you're smoked, there's no way that you're going to try to make that a 30-minute sprint tomorrow or an hour-long walk tomorrow because you know you can gauge, okay, how difficult was that? So you can stay within that range. So this what I'm specifically talking about when it comes to massive changes specifically pertains to nutrition. If you give yourself no breathing room with the food that you're allowing yourself to eat, you will suffocate your taste buds with the lack of options. I'm going to repeat that again, guys and girls. If you give yourself no breathing room with the foods that you're allowing yourself to eat, you will suffocate your taste buds with the lack of options. Okay, what does that mean? That means if you're eating the same old chicken and rice and broccoli, if you're eating the same, you know, kale and salmon, if you're eating the same boring ass fucking meals that you don't actually want to eat all the time, you're suffering. You literally will like, oh fuck, I gotta eat this again. Oh, I gotta, I hate the smell of this fish, or I hate the texture of this chicken, but I've got to eat it because it's the only way to lose fat. It's the only way, No, it's not. It's not. And you don't actually have to only eat one kind of food in order to get a specific kind of result. Nothing works like that in this world. Okay. Speaking from personal experience, from myself and on behalf of my clients, our nutrition protocols are very diverse because we're human beings with diverse taste buds. We don't want to sit there and eat the same shit every single day. And I'm a professional bodybuilder. Even I don't do that. Like my first 5 meals or my first 4 meals of the day, they'd be rice meals. And I like rice. That's why I keep, rice is the main source of carbohydrates. I usually get about a kilo of rice in a day, about 250 grams in per bowl for 4 bowls. And every single bowl has a different protein source because I'm not going to eat the same protein source for every single meal. That's just too boring for me. My taste buds would kill me. I'd have to drag my ass into the kitchen to eat, even if I was hungry. Right. So, for example, my first one would be rice and chicken breast. My second one would be rice and ground turkey. My third one would be rice and tuna or salmon or tilapia. And then my fourth one would be another rice and chicken because honestly, I love chicken breast and it's easy to prepare for me. I cook it in a pressure cooker so it stays juicy, but that's for another day. The way I prep meals, we'll talk about that later on. There's a lot of cheat codes in there, and I'll share them with you in another podcast. But today we're going to be talking about specifically the variety of food or the lack thereof. If you don't have options, it's going to be really fucking hard for you to stick to your nutrition protocol, and it's going to be really hard for you to stick to your goal of losing your first 10 pounds, which will eventually compound into you losing 30 pounds, 50 pounds, even. Right? So you have to be aware of these things before you commit to them, just so that when you do commit to them, it's more of a lifestyle change as opposed to I'm following this weird fucking diet. Does that make sense? Know the foods you like, the protein sources you like, the carb sources you like, the fat sources you like, the vegetables you like, and only keep those foods in rotation. don't need to eat shit you don't like. Okay? Let's get that out the way. Okay? Maybe if it's vegetables, you don't like vegetables, well, suck it up, Buttercup. You need vitamins. You can get some vitamins externally with supplements, all right? But I'm sure it'll save you a lot more money and a little bit more time if you were to just get extra vegetables in. Okay? Guys and girls, when adjusting your meal plan, you want to stick to whole foods that you like to eat, not what the latest trend is, keto or fucking vegan, the paleo diet. No, the best diet for you is the one that you can stick to while burning fat. The best diet for you is the diet that you can stick to while burning fat. Make sense? Personally, I'd recommend eating clean foods 80% of the time, right? So there's this rule called the 80-20 rule where 80% of the time you're eating clean. Okay. When I say clean, I'm talking about whole foods, literally stuff that you can cook at home that your mom would make for you. The rice, the pasta, the chicken, everything I just talked about previously, home cooked meals. And the 20% of the time would be maybe I'm on the road, I'm catching a burrito on the fly, or I pop up at some ethnic restaurant because I'm on a date, or something that I'm not cooking at home that I really don't know the macros of 100%. That's the 20%. Okay. Rice Krispies, I use them for, you know, and I think I talked about this in another podcast episode, the pump, right? Having extra carbs in, pre workout carbs, it helps you perform better. Okay, as a bodybuilder, it's something that I do, but I would count that towards the 20% of the time of eating freestyle because those foods aren't the foods that I want to be eating majority of the time. Those are processed foods. Those are foods that I'm not making myself. I love to be in control of the food that I eat. In terms of control, I'm talking about cooking it, knowing what's inside of it, how much fucking oil I'm using, right? Things like that. Having full control over your meal, that's what's going to give you the most accurate reading for your calories. So rely on eating home cooked whole meals at least 80% of the time. And then the odd 20% of the time, you're a human being. You can go get a pizza, get a burger, get a burrito, go to a restaurant, have dinner with your family. It's not going to kill you so long as you play in a respective sort of balance to the amount of calories that you're allowing yourself to have per day that's required for you in order to lose fat, to burn fat. Does that make sense? Okay. And thirdly, I want to talk about, guys and girls, being lenient with yourself. Okay. Your first 10 pounds may come off in 2 weeks or 2 months. We are all different. But just because your friend was able to lose 10 pounds in fucking 3 days or a week doesn't mean you will too. And that's kind of extreme. If you have a friend that's doing that, like talk to them because that's a bit too fast to lose weight unless the friend of yours, and I'm not trying to tease or anything, it was morbidly obese. And in that case, you could notice people losing 10 pounds in 2 days, even because the weight it just flies off when you're morbidly obese because it's not supposed to be there. It's a lot easier to get rid of weight when you're morbidly obese as opposed to when you're just slightly fat, skinny fat, or you're just slightly obese. Make sense? And guys and girls, just because other people can lose fat faster than you or get results quicker than you doesn't mean you're a fucking failure. Okay? It doesn't mean you're a failure just because you can't get results as quickly as they do. You will always be you. Forgive yourself if you've ever beaten yourself up over, this thinking pattern of I'm not good enough or I'm not able because somebody else is able. Now you're able, but on your own schedule, on your own time, on your own journey. This is your fitness journey. This is your body, not theirs. Okay? Monitor your progress. There's no way to know how much progress you're really making unless you're aware of the variables, okay? It doesn't only mean the weight scale. Yes, the weight scale is a fucking amazing like variable. That's the number itself. Like that's the proof if we're going to talk about it, right? The weight scale, right? But there are other ways to measure your progress, okay? Some of them are even subconscious. Like how hard is it for you now to get up the stairs? Is it easier now? To tie your shoes? Do you get a head rush when you stand up anymore? Your breathing when you're lying down on your back, is it easier? Those are things that you can actually use to measure the progress of your fitness journey. And I don't even want to call it a fucking fitness journey, of your new lifestyle, because your new lifestyle is designed to help you live longer, a fuller, higher quality lifestyle. You get that? Other measurements or other metrics you could use to calculate how much progress that you're making. Strength increase, the increase of your endurance. So strength, if you can lift more, or at least if you can lift the same, and it's easier. Whether it's you're vacuuming, oh, the vacuum feels light today, or anything. You're doing your laundry, lift up the bin. Oh, this feels light today, right? There's also endurance. I don't know about y'all, but if you got your partner there and you're hammering away in bed, is it easier for you to last the same amount of time? Can you go longer? I'm joking here, but at the same time, these are things that most people don't take into account when it comes to progress in their lifestyle, in their new lifestyle, or their fitness journey, whatever you want to call it. That are things you can actually use to measure. It's not all about the number on the weight scale, and it's not all about the number on the measuring tape at all. If you feel better and you notice that you're progressively feeling better, functioning better as time progresses, then you're already winning. You know that you're already feeling better. That's an upward trajectory. Even if your weight is coming down ever so slightly, slowly, and you haven't even lost the fucking 10 pounds, but you've noticed that 3 pounds in, you start to feel better. Clothes fitting on differently. The confidence that you have now, which could be produced from the endorphins and dopamine and serotonin and things like that that you get after you exercise. Like, notice these things. Does the quality of your life actually increase? It's not only about the first 10 pounds, it's about every pound of weight after that. But more importantly, the person that has that weight on them. Do they feel more alive? Can they do more? Can, like, is it better for you to do this than to live the way that you were living before? Is it better for you to have adapted this new lifestyle than the lifestyle that you were growing up in, or the lifestyle that you've been shackled into for the past decade plus? That's the real win. Not even if you lose 1 pound. If you begin to feel better and you continue to feel better by abiding by your routine and perform better as a human being, you're winning. All right. So get the number out of your head. But yes, I get it. We all want to lose that quick 10 pounds as fast as fucking possible. Let's not deny that. But if you do not apply this mindset and everything that I just explained before, it might take you forever to even get started. And even if you do get started, it will make it almost impossible to commit. Does that make sense? All right. If it does, just nod your head silently. If that makes sense, just nod your head silently. All right. So, guys and girls, as I said at the start of the podcast episode today, those were sort of the three pillars. I'm just going to walk through them again that I want you to sort of get cemented into your head. And once that's cemented into your head, I can just give you some of the systems that I use for myself and my best clients in the Natural Nomad Academy to, of course, track their weight loss and make sure that they're making adequate progress. I'm just going to give you the tools, not necessarily the structure, because the structure is going to vary per person, since it would have to actually be custom for the numbers to work for you in that structure. Okay. So the first thing that we talked about was starting extremely small. Again, you want to change your whole entire body overnight. I get it. Like, you want to get rid of the fat, like you're sick and tired, but you have to change your lifestyle. And to change your lifestyle takes time, right? You got to do have to let things compound. You have to start one small thing, okay, and continue doing that small thing until it's too small for you. Then you got to make it bigger. And then you commit to more bigger things and bigger things and bigger things when it comes to your physical activity, right? And also never to make massive changes. If you are eating certain foods that you like right now, don't change the type of food unless it's garbage food. If you're eating straight up trash every day, I would recommend changing that. But aside from that, don't just try to go into like this keto diet, this paleo diet, this vegan diet and change everything, make a massive change, because you won't commit to it. You won't. You're better off following the 80-20% rule. 80% of the time, you're eating foods that you know you like with the seasonings that you know you love, that you prep yourself. 20% of the time, you're a human being. Maybe you go out with the family, maybe you go out with your partner, or you just go get a burrito because you fucking want to. 20% of the time. Okay. But you're making sure that 100% of the time, your calories are, you're abiding by the caloric limits that you'll need to abide by in order to lose fat. Does that make sense? And last but not least, be lenient with yourself. Be patient. Just because you and your friend are even the same height, the same weight, eating the exact same food and the exact same measurements, and they lose weight, quicker than you, doesn't mean that you're a failure, and it doesn't mean that you don't have the ability to lose that weight anyway. Does that make sense? So now that those three things are out the way, I'm going to give you, some useful tools and some useful apps that I use with my best clients and myself that I would always recommend to anybody that listens to the Meathead on the Mic podcast. Okay. And these will help you stay in line. It'll keep you on track, and you can always fall back on it to look, at previous data to see how you were doing in the past, which is fucking amazing. And of course, this is going to cost you a little bit of change, but it's not going to break the bank. The only thing you're really going to be buying here are probably two to three things. One of them is optional, but let's break it down. The first thing is absolutely free. If you are listening to this podcast and you do not have this app already, I'm gonna slap you upside the head. My Fitness Pal. Use this app to track your calories to stay in line. Now, the amount of calories that you're going to be required to eat or consume is going to vary based off of where you currently are with your physique, your height, your physical activity level, your schedule, how often you can train, so on and so forth, which refers to the structure or the variables I was talking about earlier on, before we dived into this. And I won't be able to provide you that structure because it would have to be custom. And I don't know exactly who you are listening to this, but you can figure that out yourself. Figure out your caloric requirements, okay? And use my Fitness Pal to track your foods to stay in line and not surpass your caloric limit so that you can continue to lose weight. All right. So the second thing here, guys and girls, that I want you to invest in, okay? The first one is more of a time investment, and you just download it. It's free. The second one is a couple bucks, maybe 30 bucks, 40 bucks. I'm not sure. But it's a Renpho scale. I'm gonna spell it out for you. Renpho scale. Renpho scale. I've had that scale for about 5 years. It's super, super accurate. Yes, it does claim to read body fat percentage, bone density, and metabolic age, all that stuff, but it's fucking nonsense. The only thing that I love about it is the fact that it connects to your app in the phone, because it does come with an app you can download, and it logs in every time that you step on the scale through Bluetooth connection, right? And just to have something that logs in your weight so you don't have to write it down on a pen and paper is super, super handy. I can open up the app and scroll back to 5 years ago and look at all the trends and patterns, and what was I eating here, what was I eating there, and then I'll know essentially how close I was to a show by the fluctuation of the graph. It, displays everything in a nice, neat, organized graph, and it's amazing for measuring progress. I super, super recommend it. Some of my clients have it. I have it myself. I love it. I use it all the time. I step on that scale every fucking morning, and it logs in for me, so I know how much progress I'm making without having to think about it. Okay. Another thing. This one is actually the most crucial out of everything. Not the brand itself, but for what it is, it's the most crucial. It will save you the most time, and it will allow for you to be as accurate as fucking possible when it comes to calculating your macros and measuring your meals. Now, this one is a food scale, an electronics food scale. I use the Ozeri brand. All right. I use the Ozeri brand food scale. Okay. And the reason why I use an electronic food scale is because I don't like the fact that, using cups and other physical forms of measurements are inaccurate in the sense that, volume will dictate the amount of density that's in. So, for example, if I get a cup of rice, I can pack it down really, really, really tight to the point where there's more space in that cup than originally intended. Then I can scoop a little bit more extra rice and squeeze that down and squeeze a little bit more rice in there. And now it fills the cup. It says 1 cup of rice, but in actuality, it's almost 3 cups because I've compressed all those cups inside. So there's no real way to know how much you're actually getting. Whereas if you're measuring on an electronic scale, the variable is the variable, and that's the number, right? It's consistent to a T. It's amazingly accurate, and allow you to be amazingly consistent. Okay, so get yourself a food scale. Could be between 15 to 30 bucks. Not expensive. Okay, get the ones that have batteries you can replace. I use the Ozeri brand. That's just because there's no specific reason. I don't even know why I got it, but an electronic food scale is what you will need if you want to be in control of your body, if you want to successfully meal prep. Yes, you can use rule of thumbs like, the hand measurements or eyeing things, but if you truly want to be in control and demand the results that you deserve, having control over your food is the best way to do that. Electronic food scale will change your fucking life. I said it now and I'll say it again. All of my clients have it because without it, it's what are you measuring? How do you know that it's a cup? Right? So get yourself one of those. Now, the last one, this one's optional. You don't actually need this. Again, going off of what I talked about earlier, you can use your just living experience as a measuring tool for success. You know, lifting up the laundry bin. Does that feel easier? Walking up the stairs. Does that feel easier? right? You can use those variables, but if you want to step a little bit into it, just a little bit deeper, get yourself some measuring tape and a full body mirror. Again, you don't have to break the bank with this shit. You can go to the dollar store, get yourself some measuring tape, or the Walmart, and get a full body mirror, something really cheap. And that's just so you can see what's really going on. You could simply just take pictures of yourself, right? But you can use the mirror as well, which is why I said it's sort of optional. I personally would like to take pictures of myself to, record um, the progress sort of in unison with what would reflect on the Renfo app scale, because on that it'll show you the date, specifically the hour and the minute that you stepped on that scale, and then if you take a picture around that time, it fits in, so you know you know how you look like at a certain weight every time that you take a picture, for example, right? So I'd always recommend using a camera instead of a mirror, but a mirror will also help if you don't want to take pictures, right? And measuring tape is cool, but you don't fucking need it either, right? You can use these things to help measure your progress, but the best things are the quality of your life. Is that increasing? Does it feel better? Okay, those are the things. Cool. Now it's time for you guys and girls to take action. If you like this episode, share it out with a friend. I hope I was able to deliver a valuable experience to you guys and girls today. Thank you so much for giving me your precious time and attention. Also, if you want to join the Natural Nomad Academy and lose 25 pounds yourself, let me know. Feel free to DM and I'll see if you'll be a good fit. P.S. I will not be monetizing this podcast with any ads because I just simply respect your time. I want you to get the value. I'm here to fucking help. All right. Don't forget to screenshot and share this podcast out to your IG story to show support. Let's embrace your inner meathead together. All right. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. Natural IFBB Pro Matt Butale signing out. Boom. All right, folks. Podcast is rolled up. It's in the air. It's recorded so we can chat. I'm going to look at some Instagram convo over here because I know I was ignoring some of y'all while I was speaking because you guys would have made me fuck up my words. What's up? What's up? What's up? Ruben, what's good? Jarvis, Duke, K, Amrit, what is up? Mr. Butter, what's good? Homie says, school son, just eating some chicken and rice. There we go. Bonner, what's up? Homie said, eating some chicken and rice. What are you, a bodybuilder? Yo, what's up? I see you guys. Jessica, what's up? Ben, Jay, he says, bro, I need to maintain weight. I got an episode for you. I've got an episode for you. Unknown Golden, I appreciate the follow, Holmes. My G. I'm going to be reading some TikTok questions very shortly. So if you've got any questions on TikTok, type them up. YouTube, if you got questions there, type them up. Facebook, if you got questions there, type them up, and I will do my best to answer them in a short period of time. I'll give myself like 3 minutes. We're off at 12:35 EST here. Carly, what's good? Jaden, what's good? Fixer Upper, what's up? Sweet as I am. Homie, what's good? Mr. Kinesiology in the house. Jaden, Carly. So Ruben says, I thought it was normal to feel that head rush when you bend down and get up too fast. It's somewhat normal, but it's accelerated when you are, overweight or when you have a, quite a high BMI. Even I feel it, and I noticed I feel it more in my off season than when I'm, getting ready and prepping and losing weight when I'm like at a lighter weight. Because even for myself, apparently, I'm obese. I'm actually going to do a podcast episode on that tomorrow about being obese but being jacked and just health in general and how muscle itself isn't just healthy. But yeah, man, it's something that it's normal. It's going to happen to you always. But I was just saying, like, to notice progression, to notice like any kind of progress where like, you bend down, you come back up. 10 pounds ago, it felt a whole lot worse. Maybe the head rush is like, I'm fucking dizzy when I'm standing up at the top. But now it's like, like I feel it, but it's gone now. It's not as long, it's not is prolific. It's not the same thing, right? So just small things to measure your progress without actually measuring your progress. That's what I was using to refer to it as. But yeah, man, that's a natural thing. Numo, it's good. Juan, it's number one. That's funny. I like that. I like that. Happy Few 2021. What's good? Hey, Big Mermaid in the cut. What's happening? Hannah, what's up? Tristan, what's good? Shout out to all you guys. Shout out. Constantino Fitness Homeboy, what's good? Let's see. Kareem, what's good? Mike, remain humble 416. What's up, bro? Hope you're having a sick ass day, my guy. How you doing? He says, are you competing 2023? What's that? That's next year? Likely. I don't know. Guess you're gonna have to follow and find out, my guy. All right, so I guess we don't have many questions here today, which is not bad. Of course, if you've got any questions and you couldn't think of it right now, or you're just a little bit shy, that's fucking cool. Just shoot me a DM and I'll help you out. I'll do my best to help you out here. All right. So, guys and girls, that is it. That is all. I hope you motherfuckers have the sickest Monday of your goddamn life. You know what time it is. We'll be back again tomorrow with another episode. Natural IFBB Pro Matt Butale signing out. Boom.